Hello, and welcome to another video. Today I'll be showing you around my sealed deck from the Tarkir Dragonstorm Prerelease. And after that, I've got some prize packs that we can open up together. Let's get started. So as you can tell from my deck box, I built my deck from a Mardu kit. At my game store, the kits were randomly distributed and we didn't get to pick our clan. And originally I was given a Sultai kit, which I would have been happy with and I did really consider building. But there was a player at my table who wanted to trade and had this Mardu kit up for grabs. And I had gone into the day really hoping to get Mardu, so I was really happy to make that trade. Of course, there's always that little bit of anxiety that the kit that you trade away is going to have something amazing in it. But that didn't end up being the case here, and I was very pleased with what I opened. So I'll just take a moment to pull everything out of here. I will unsleeve the deck and lay it out so we can take a look at it together. And then we can review the rest of the pool and talk about that a little bit. Alright. So this is sort of what my deck was looking like. I did pull aside the rares so that we could look through those first. Starting out with the promo card. I was really happy to see that this one was on color, because even though there is a seeded pack, the promo itself could still be any color at all. So I thought this one looked really good and I was very excited to play it. And I actually opened another one in one of my other packs, so that was a bit wild. The other rare that I got in my seeded pack was Stadium Headliner. I didn't really end up playing this one all that much, though I thought the activated ability looked really good. Windcrag Siege was pretty good. The one time that I played it, I didn't have any Mobilize on the board or in hand, so I ended up putting it on Jeskai, which was great, but did feel a little bit like a betrayal to do that. Mardu Siegebreaker was absolutely incredible. I also had 2 of these. So a lot of death touch going on here. I kept thinking that this one also had flying, because it looks like a bird, I guess. It does not. But in any case, it is Death Touch Haste, and when the Siegebreaker enters the battlefield, you can exile one of your own creatures until this leaves the battlefield. And then, whenever Siegebreaker attacks, you create a tapped and attacking token copy of the creature that is exiled under it. And similar to Mobilize, you sacrifice that token at the beginning of your end step. So this was so much fun. I was able to do that with the Salt Road Pack Beast, which draws you a card when it enters. And most excitingly, I also had Sonic Shrieker exiled with it, which is a 4/4 flyer that when it enters, it deals 2 damage to any target and you gain 2 life. And if a player is dealt damage that way, then they discard a card. So being able to do that every combat was super good. And then lastly, Voice of Victory. Pretty solid, and felt good that I wasn't going to get blown out by a combat trick during my turn. So that is my entire deck. The only rare that I opened but didn't play was Narset, which was still 2/3 on color, but didn't feel like I needed to run that for any reason. So yeah. Overall, I really enjoyed my deck, but it did struggle a little bit with mana at some points. Oh yeah, and I don't think I mentioned what my record was, but with this I went 2-1, losing in the first round to a very aggressive teamer deck with all those 5/5 elephants and other creatures that made it very difficult for me to get in with my smaller creatures and begin mobilizing. And I know for sure that I was missing a color in one of our games, and in the other game we were kind of going 1-for-1 with targeted removal until I ran out and just got run over. You know, spells like these are very good with mobilize, especially since you are sacrificing your tokens anyway. But they get a lot less good when you need to hold on to every creature you have, and you aren't really able to attack to generate the tokens. So, lesson learned. This guy came in clutch with that 2/2 soldier token sometimes, though it is a pretty standard 2/2 for 2 creature. But I guess with it being a token and from a potentially repeatable source, it had me feeling like it was a bit more expendable than a normal creature. But as far as mana goes, yeah, like I was saying earlier with the mana being a bit awkward, it was tough having all of my early creatures being red and white, and then jumping up to a double black pip in the 3 slot. Though this Karsi Revenant is really good anytime and doesn't need to come out on turn 3. But red was making up the smallest portion of my color pie, so getting Stadium Headliner or Shock Brigade on curve was kind of unlikely. So I'm wondering if maybe I should have run something else there instead. This was the entirety of my non-basic land mana suite, and I really would have loved to have more options that could produce red in addition to other mana. I did have a bunch of the Dragonstorm globes, but I don't know, I just wasn't really sold on a 3-mana mana rock. And I'm sure I didn't have enough dragons to get any use out of the other ability. So yeah, I think bad mana was probably my greatest downfall here. And I probably should have mulliganed more aggressively in game 1. I know I'm really conservative with my mulligans. Yeah, I only took 1 mulligan across the 3 rounds. But yeah, I ran a lot of removal here and I thought it all seemed pretty good. Sometimes the 4 and 5 damage ones weren't quite enough to kill a creature, but overall I thought they were sufficient and I was pretty happy with all of this. This one I always did cast for 2 mana, which was absolutely fine. and never did get to behold a dragon, unfortunately, but I think all of these were fine without it. Let's look at the remaining Mardu cards that I didn't run. This one I did side in a bit, and I was taking out the Salt Road Pack Beast for it, but I never did pay more than 3 mana for the Pack Beast, so that seems like a pretty good deal, honestly. I would have liked to try this guy, but I just didn't. Same with this one. I was really curious about running this enchantment, but didn't end up having room for it, and was definitely not going to be able to return it to my hand, so didn't make the cut there. This one I thought looked really good, but maybe a bit too slow for me. This was the only Tempest Hawk that I had, unfortunately. So yeah. And then of course the remaining cards are all of the blue and green ones. I did look through those when I was building, but just going off of the rares, I was thinking there's really no chance that I run either of those colors. So I didn't look at those super closely, I'll admit. But we can go ahead and look at them now. Narset we already looked at. That seems fine. I think Teamer would have been my second choice. Oh, this dragon messed me up so much. I had 2 opponents that ran it, one of which was able to double its power, so that was wicked good. So yeah, those are all the cards that I had access to. I think Mardu was definitely the correct wedge to build this pool in, but I am of course willing to believe that my build of it was not optimal, so I am curious to know what you think. But for now, let's clear this out and open up the prize packs. For my record of 2-1, I got 4 prize packs. Let's open them up. Adorned crocodile, Sultai devotee, Ice Ridge serpent, Salt Road pack beast, Narset's rebuke, Kintree nurturer, Unburied Earth Carver, Aggressive Negotiations, Ureni's Rebuff, Teeming Dragonstorm, Defibrillating Current, Ambling Stormshell. So cute. Opulent Palace in foil. A Scoured Barrens. A Spirit. And a Spirit. First up, we've got Twin Bolt, Nightblade Brigade, Snakeskin Veil, Dispelling Exhale, Bearer of Glory, Lightfoot Technique, Monastery Messenger, Kishla Skimmer, Veteran Ice Climber, Armament Dragon. Oh, nice. Zergo, Thunder's Decree, ooh, and Nerev, Heart of the Storm. So we got 2 Mardu rares. A foil Dragonclaw Strike, a Rugged Highlands, a Warrior, and a Dragon. Trade Route Envoy, Focus the Mind, Mardu Devotee, Meticulous Artisan, Feral Deathgorger, Dragonstorm Globe, Lightfoot technique, stalwart successor, Kishla trawlers, nomad outpost, synchronized charge, Dalkovin encampment is the rare, and a foil, Call the Spirit Dragons. Wow. A Tranquil Cove, a Zombie Druid token, and a treasure token. On to our final pack. Starting with Cruel Truths, Sagu Wildling, Teamer Devotee, Tempest Hawk, Underfoot Underdogs, Caustic Exhale, Dragonstorm Globe, Lightfoot Technique, Rite of Renewal, Corroding Dragonstorm, Auroral Procession, the rare is Magmatic Hellkite. A foil Reigning Victor, a foil Tranquil Cove, a warrior token, and a dragon token. All right. Looks like we did pretty well with the prize packs. I am particularly interested in the land that we opened, but we'll see if that turns out to be anything. But yeah, that will do it for today. I would absolutely love to hear how your pre-release went if you went out and played in one, which clan you ended up with and whether you chose it, cards that you opened and the matches that you played. I would love to hear it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, I would absolutely love it if you would give it a thumbs up. And please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll be back with new Magic the Gathering ASMR videos every Monday and Friday. Your support truly means the world to me. And I hope you have a wonderful day.